सॉल्यूशन चैप्टर में कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टीज तक स्टडी कर चुके हैं। तो आइए आज हम एक नया टॉपिक स्टडी करेंगे जिसे कहते हैं वांट ऑफ फैक्टर। क्या होता है वांट ऑफ फैक्टर, कैसे कैलकुलेट किया जाता है और इसकी ज़रूरत ही क्यों हुई। कभी कभी आपने देखा होगा कि हम किसी सॉल्यूट का कुछ अमाउंट सॉल्वेंट में मिक्स करके सॉल्यूशन बनाते हैं। उस सॉल्यूट का मोलर मास स्टडी करने पर हमें एक डिफरेंस मिलता है सॉल्यूशन बनने से पहले और सॉल्यूशन बनने के बाद के मोलर मासेस में। ये मोलर मास कैसे चेंज हो गया? हमने तो वही सॉल्यूट जिसका मोलर मास पहले कैलकुलेट किया था सॉल्यूशन में यूज़ किया, फिर सॉल्यूशन में जाकर उसके मोलर मास में वेरिएशन क्यों आ गया? ये वेरिएशन जो मोलर मास का वैल्यू इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज कर देता है, इसे ही हम एबनॉर्मल मोलर मास कहते हैं। और इसी एबनॉर्मल मोलर मास को समझने के लिए हम वांट ऑफ फैक्टर को यूज करते हैं। जब किसी सॉल्यूट को सॉल्वेंट में डाला जाता है तो 3 कंडीशंस पॉसिबल हैं। नंबर 1, सॉल्यूट इन सॉल्वेंट में remain same dissociate और एसोसिएट। अगर सॉल्यूट को हमने सॉल्वेंट में डाला है तो ये पॉसिबल है कि सॉल्यूट के पार्टिकल्स सॉल्वेंट में डिसॉल्व होने के बाद जैसे थे वैसे ही रहें, उनमें कोई चेंजेस ना हो, या उनका डिसोसिएशन और एसोसिएशन हो जाए। अगर वो सेम रहते हैं तो उनका मोलर मास सॉल्यूशन बनने से पहले और सॉल्यूशन बनने के बाद सेम रहेगा। यहाँ हमें एबनॉर्मल मोलर मास नहीं ऑब्टेन होगा। लेकिन अगर सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स ऑन फॉर्मिंग द सॉल्यूशन डिसोशिएट और एसोसिएट, then we get abnormal molar masses or the molar masses which are higher or lower than the expected values. Why it happens? Look, if we take any molecule which is being dissolved in solvent to make the solution, after forming solution the molecule of solute get dissociated and gives us 2 ions, that is sodium ion and chloride ion. The dissociation and association is responsible for the solubility of solute in solution. That's why this also depends on amount of the solute. Same colligative property works here. So we can say that before dissolving NaCl or forming the solution, the number of mole is 1. Whereas inside the solution we get 2 moles, that is 1 of sodium ion and 1 of chloride ion. The total number of moles in solution increases, which affect the colligative property. Hence, the abnormal molar mass is obtained. Similarly, if we take an example of AlCl3, which after dissociation in the solvent gives 1 ion of aluminium and 3 ions of chloride. 1 mole before dissociation and total 4 moles after dissociation. This difference in number of moles before or after dissociation is responsible for abnormal molar masses of AlCl3. This is the example for dissociation. Let's take one example for association also. You know the formula of acetic acid? It is CH3COOH. When it is being dissolved in benzene, as we know that it is easily soluble in benzene being an organic solvent. So when we dissolve it in benzene, we get 2 moles associated to form 1 single mole of acetic acid. The number of moles becomes the number of atoms present in single mole of acetic acid. So here we can calculate that the number of moles before association. This is called association when 2 or more moles or molecules combine to give a single molecule. This is association. So the number of moles before association is 2, whereas number of moles after association is only 1, because both the molecules combine or attached or joined to form a single molecule. Here again we can observe the difference in number of moles before and after association. Hence the difference in molar mass is reason for the abnormal molar masses. How much dissociation or association takes place for a solute in the solvent? कोई भी सॉल्यूट किसी सॉल्वेंट में कितना डिसोशिएट और एसोशिएट होता है, इसे कैलकुलेट करने के लिए 1886 में वॉन्टहॉफ ने एक फैक्टर दिया जिसे हम I से डिनोट करते हैं और उसे हम वॉन्टहॉफ फैक्टर कहते हैं, जो हमें बताता है एक्सटेंट ऑफ डिसोशिएशन एंड एसोसिएशन ऑफ अ सॉल्यूट इन सॉल्वेंट ड्यूरिंग फॉर्मेशन ऑफ सॉल्यूशन. So, Wonthorf factor. It is denoted by small I. Wonthorf factor is the number of moles after dissociation or association upon number of moles before dissociation or association of solute in a solvent. Let's come back to the previous example of AlCl3, where we see that 1 mole of AlCl3 before dissociation, whereas 1 plus 3, that is total 4 moles are after dissociation. So for I we can say that it is number of moles after dissociation 4 upon number of moles before dissociation 1, which is equals to 4. So the Wonthorf factor for AlCl3 is 4. That means the extent of dissociation is 4. The AlCl3 increases its number of moles up to the 4. So all the colligative properties of AlCl3 also get changed. The Wonthorf factor I is directly proportional to the colligative properties. So we can say that with change in value of I, the elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, lowering of vapor pressure as well as the osmotic pressure also get changed. When a substance gets dissociated, number of moles increases. Therefore the value of I is higher than 1. Whereas when the substance gets associated, number of moles decreases. So the value of I is lower than 1. with increase and decrease of value of I. Colligative properties also increase or decrease with the multiple of I. Hence we can say that for the solute which is not associating or dissociating have the same values for its colligative properties. As we know that elevation in boiling point delta TB is equals to kBm. Hence, according to Van 't Hoff, the delta TB is equals to I kBm. It is directly proportional to I. So, if the value of Van 't Hoff factor increases, the elevation in boiling point of a solute also increases. Similarly, for depression in freezing point, delta TF is equals to I KFM. Again, with increase in value of I, depression in freezing point also increases, and with decrease in value of I, the depression in freezing point also decreases. Similarly, for osmosis, pi is equals to CRT. It becomes pi is equals to ICRT. The value of osmotic pressure is directly proportional to the Van 't Hoff factor I. With increase in I, pi increases, and with decrease in I, pi decreases. So we can say that the association or dissociation of solute particles affect all the colligative properties of the solute. Similarly, we can observe the same changes for lowering in vapor pressure also. Now let's derive the relation between Van 't Hoff factor I and extent of dissociation and association. Let's derive the relation between I and alpha, where alpha is degree of dissociation or association. First, we will discuss about the degree of dissociation. What is degree of dissociation? It is the fraction of moles found after the dissociation of solute in the solution. So, suppose we are having a substance A which after dissociation gives M. At initial, the concentration of A is 1 whereas M is 0. In your class 11th equilibrium, we have already discussed this point. अगर हमने कोई रिएक्शन इनिशियली स्टार्ट की है तो हमारे पास मैक्सिमम कंसंट्रेशन होगी की, जबकि हमारे पास उस समय प्रोडक्ट नहीं होगा, बिकॉज वी हैव रिसेंटली स्टार्टेड द रिएक्शन. सो द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ प्रोडक्ट इज 0. But after some time, or we can say at equilibrium where reaction seems to be stopped because the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. जितनी स्पीड से A डिसोशिएट होता है उतनी ही स्पीड से M एसोशिएट होना शुरू हो जाता है, यानी कि हमारी A और M की कंसंट्रेशंस इक्विलिब्रियम पर कांस्टेंट हो जाती है. अब उसके बाद उसमें चेंजेस ऑब्जर्व नहीं किए जाते. तो ऐसी कंडीशन में इक्विलिब्रियम पर हमारे पास जो A और M की कंसंट्रेशंस होगी वो होगी फॉर M अल्फा पार्टिकल्स बनेंगे और A में से उतने ही अल्फा पार्टिकल्स लेस हो जाएंगे. जितना अमाउंट हमारा M का बनेगा उतने ही मोल्स हमारे A के डिसोशिएट हो चुके होंगे. सो वी कैन राइट A माइनस अल्फा. वी मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय द कंसंट्रेशन of the M, so we can say it is M alpha. M m moles of alpha is formed. M is named as or known as the number of moles of M after dissociation. 1 mole of A gives small m moles of capital M after the dissociation. So let's count the total number of moles present in the container after dissociation. As container is having both the product as well as the undissociated amount of reactant. So the total moles present in container is 1 minus alpha plus m alpha. All the moles are present in the container at equilibrium, the undissociated moles and the dissociated moles. So the sum is total moles. So, Wanda factor I is the number of moles after dissociation present in the container upon the number of moles taken for the dissociation. The number of moles taken for the dissociation is 1, whereas the number of moles present in container after dissociation is this one. So, I is equals to 1 minus alpha plus m alpha upon 1. We can solve this equation mathematically. We take 1 this side, that is I multiplied by 1 is equals to 1 minus alpha plus m alpha. Anything multiplied by 1 is equals to the same. I multiplied by 1 is equals to I 1 minus alpha plus m alpha. I have removed the bracket. Nothing is before or after the bracket, so no need to multiply by anything. Or we can also write I is equals to 1 plus m alpha minus alpha. For our convenience, I have just changed the values along with their sign. It is just for convenience to solve the further. I is equals to 1 plus alpha I have taken as a common. Remaining is m minus 1. Now we can transfer the 1. I minus 1 is equals to alpha m minus 1. What we want to calculate over here? Alpha, the degree of dissociation. So the alpha is equals to I minus 1 upon m minus 1, where m is the number of moles obtained after dissociation or the number of moles of capital M which we get after dissociation. If we know the value of m, we can easily calculate alpha. Suppose for NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl after dissociation gives 2 moles, that is 1 of sodium ion and 1 of chloride ion. So we can say the total number of moles or m is 2. For NaCl, m is 2. So alpha is equals to I minus 1 upon 2 minus 1. Like this, we can use the value of m and solve the equation. Now let's derive the formula for relation between I and alpha, which is degree of association. Association means when 2 or more molecules combine to give a single molecule. Suppose we are having n number of A substance which after association gives single molecule of A with n number of atoms. Previously we are having small n number of moles of A, but after association the same number of moles convert into the number of atoms of a single molecule. Again, initial concentration for reactant is 1, whereas for the product is 0, because we have just started the reaction. No product is formed till this concentration. But at equilibrium, which I have already explained you. In case of degree of dissociation, the meaning of equilibrium we have discussed. So at equilibrium, the alpha amount of A is formed as a product and 1 minus alpha amount remain unassociated. Again we multiply it by the concentration of product, so it gives N value, it is N, alpha by N. 1 mole, suppose if 2 moles of reactant is here, we get 1 over here. By taking the ratio of this, we can say the concentration of product is 1 by N, or the number of atoms associated to 1 by N, that is the number of molecules associated to make a product. Now, the total moles present in container after association is 1 minus alpha plus alpha by N. So the total moles present in container after association is sum of these, the moles remain unassociated plus the number of moles obtained after association. Therefore the want of factor I is the total number of moles after association upon number of moles taken for association, that is 1. Solve the equation mathematically. I multiplied by 1 is equals to 1 minus alpha plus alpha by N, or I is equals to 1 plus alpha by N minus alpha. Again I have changed the position for our convenience. By changing the position of 1, we get I minus 1, which is equals to alpha by N minus alpha. Or we can say, if we take alpha as a common, we get 1 minus N minus 1. We have to calculate alpha. So alpha is equals to I minus 1 upon 1 minus N minus 1. This is the relation between degree of association and want of factor. If we know the value of N, or the number of molecules being associated during the process, we can easily calculate the degree of association as well as the want of factor for the given solute.
Let's repeat all the points so that you can easily prepare your notes. First of all, abnormal molar masses. अगर किसी सॉल्यूशन में सॉल्यूट के पार्टिकल्स का डिसोसिएशन या एसोसिएशन हो जाता है तो उनका मोलर मास डिफरेंट मिलता है, इसी को हम एबनॉर्मल मोलर मास कहते हैं. So we can say that when the molar masses are calculated and found higher or lower than the expected value are known as abnormal molar masses. We can also say that the abnormal molar masses of solute in solution is the molecular mass which is different from the theoretical expected value. It arises due to either association or dissociation of molecules in the solution. For example, you can see that AlCl3 when dissociated gives 1 ion of aluminium and 3 ions of chloride. Therefore, number of moles before dissociation is 1, whereas after the dissociation it is 4. This difference in number of moles is due to colligative nature. Hence, the molar masses found differ in the solution after the dissociation. Similarly, when association takes place, two or more than two molecules combine to form a single molecule of the substance. You can see that two molecules of CH3COOH acetic acid combines to give an associated molecule of acetic acid. Therefore, the number of moles before association is 2, whereas after association is 1. Again, the number of moles changes, due to which it shows different molecular mass and hence named as abnormal molar masses. In 1886, von Hoff expressed the extent of association or dissociation of solute in solution using a factor I, which is further named as von Hoff factor. von Hoff ने 1886 में किसी सॉल्यूट का सॉल्यूशन में कितना एसोसिएशन और डिसोसिएशन हुआ है समझाने के लिए एक फैक्टर आई इंट्रोड्यूस किया, जिसे हम von Hoff फैक्टर कहते हैं। ये सिंपली नॉर्मल एंड ऑब्जर्व्ड मोलर मासेस का रेशियो होता है। सो वी कैन से दैट I is equals to normal molar mass by observed molar mass, or we can also say that I is equals to observed value of colligative property by the normal value of colligative property. It can also be defined as I is equals to number of moles after dissociation or association of solute in solution by the number of moles before association or dissociation of solute particles in the solution. If solute is not associating or dissociating in solution, the value of von Hoff factor I will remain 1 because the observed and normal molar masses are same. But in case of association, the number of moles decreases in product side than the reactant side. Therefore, the von Hoff factor I is less than 1. Similarly, in case of dissociation, the number of moles increases. Therefore, the value of von Hoff factor is more than 1. Let's calculate von Hoff factor I for some compounds undergoing dissociation or association. First of all, you can see that NaCl after dissociation gives 1 mole of sodium ion and 1 mole of chloride ion. Therefore, the number of moles before dissociation is 1 and after the dissociation is 2. According to our formula, von Hoff factor is equals to number of moles after dissociation upon number of moles before dissociation, that is 2 by 1, which is equals to 2. So we can say that the value of von Hoff factor I for NaCl is 2. Let's take one more example of calcium chloride CaCl2, which after dissociation gives 1 mole of calcium ion and 2 moles of chloride ions. Number of moles before dissociation is 1, whereas after dissociation is 3. So the value of I is equals to 3 by 1, that's 3. So I for CaCl2 is 3. One more example, which is undergoing association. You can see that 2 moles of acetic acid after association gives 1 mole of acetic acid. So the number of moles before association is 2, whereas after association is 1. Von Hoff factor I is equals to 1 by 2, that is 0.5 for acetic acid. The value of von Hoff factor is directly proportional to the colligative properties. Hence, we can say that the relative lowering in vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure all are directly proportional to I or changes with change in value of I. That means if a solute is dissociated or associated in solution, it affects colligative properties of solute. मीन्स अगर वॉन्ट ऑफ फैक्टर आई की वैल्यू ज़्यादा हुई तो वेपर प्रेशर में लोअरिंग भी ज़्यादा होगी, बॉइलिंग पॉइंट में एलिवेशन ज़्यादा होगा, फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट में डिप्रेशन ज़्यादा होगा और ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर भी चेंज हो जाएगा. वी कैन ऑल्सो डिराइव द रिलेशन बिटवीन एक्सटेंट ऑफ डिसोसिएशन एंड वॉन्ट ऑफ फैक्टर. क्या होता है डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन? आपने क्लास 11th इक्विलिब्रियम चैप्टर में पढ़ा होगा डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन एंड एसोसिएशन अल्फा. इट इज़ द फ्रैक्शन ऑफ टोटल सब्सटेंस दैट अंडरगोज डिसोसिएशन इनटू आयंस. So we can say that degree of dissociation is equals to number of moles of the substance dissociated upon total number of moles of the substance taken. Suppose we are having a molecule which after dissociation gives M. Initially the concentration of A is 1 whereas for M is 0. जब रिएक्शन स्टार्ट होती है तो हमारे पास A के टोटल मोल्स हैं बट M उस समय प्रिपेयर नहीं हुआ है. बट एट इक्विलिब्रियम M अल्फा मोल्स आर फॉर्म्ड आफ्टर द डिसोसिएशन ऑफ A. Therefore, the remaining moles which left undissociated are 1 minus alpha for A. Here alpha is degree of dissociation, 1 minus alpha is number of moles of solute left undissociated, M alpha is number of moles of ions formed after the dissociation at equilibrium. Therefore, total number of moles of particles present in container after the dissociation is the sum of moles remaining undissociated and the moles obtained after dissociation, that is 1 minus alpha plus M alpha. Want of factor I is observed number of moles of solute upon normal number of moles of solute, or we can say that the number of moles after dissociation by the number of moles before dissociation. And hence, as we know that the number of moles after dissociation is 1 minus alpha plus M alpha, whereas number of moles before dissociation is only 1. Therefore, I is equals to 1 minus alpha plus M alpha by 1. By solving this equation, we get I minus 1 which is equals to alpha M minus 1. Here we have taken alpha as a common. Degree of dissociation alpha is equals to I minus 1 by M minus 1, where M is number of moles after dissociation. So if we know the number of M, we can easily calculate the extent of dissociation for the given solute. Now let's derive the same relation for extent of association and want of factor. Degree of association is the fraction of total number of molecules which combine to form associated molecules. So we can say degree of association alpha is equals to number of moles of the substance associated by the total number of moles of the substance taken. We can take an example where n moles of a substance gives a n after association. Initially, we are having 1 mole of the reactant and the 0 moles of product. But at equilibrium, after forming alpha amount of product, A minus alpha moles remain unassociated. Here alpha is degree of association and the total number of moles after association is again the sum of number of moles remaining unassociated plus the number of moles formed after association, that is 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n. Want of factor I is equals to number of moles of the substance associated upon total number of moles of the substance taken, or we can say that number of moles after association by the number of moles before association. As we have calculated the total number of moles after association, 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n. So I is equals to 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n upon 1, which is the number of mole before association. Therefore I is equals to 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n upon 1, which on taking alpha as a common and solving the equation gives I minus 1 equals to alpha 1 minus n minus 1. That is alpha is equals to I minus 1 upon 1 by n minus 1, where n is number of molecules to give associated molecules. If we know the value of n, we can easily calculate the degree of association for the given solute. Hope you can easily prepare your notes using this video, and thanks for watching carefully.